Okay, we're in class number 5. We have one more class next week, and it'll be our final get-together. And I did want to say a few things about next week. We're going to have a short rack 8-ball tournament, and hopefully everybody will get to play each other, once. Usually I give out prizes and things, but over the years I've run out of things to give away. So I'll see what I can do, but well, not a bad idea, but I don't think I can afford that. Yeah. But also, we're going to have everything you always wanted to know about pool, but were afraid to ask. So it will be your chance to ask any question or demonstrate any shot, whatever you want to learn in that day. But then we'll do that 8-ball tournament, and maybe we'll even do a few tricks to have some fun with that. So hopefully it'll be a fun time. Today we're going to focus on kicks and bangs. And also we're going to do a rack of short rack 8-ball to make sure everybody's got the rules. And we are going to play BCA, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I know APA has specific rules, but I think I prefer the BCA rules because that's more international. APA is in the in the United States.
Oh.
Hey, Milty, I thought you were in Phoenix.
No, not
Yeah. Before we go, and I'll cover that. All right.
Okay.
For now, let's kind of review a little bit of what we did, last week. And I want to make sure you all have the combinations down, and also a little bit on English. Last time we covered English, and I wanted to just kind of show you what English does to improve our lot. Okay. Now, if I'm shooting the 9, for example, and let's say I want to get down table somewhere here for position on the 11. Now, to widen the angle, which means when it hits the rail, it'll spread a greater distance. What type of English do I need when I pocket the 9? Left English, exactly. Now, for example, what if I wanted to get the cue ball close to the rail here for position on the 10? What kind of English would I use then? Right. Just to give you an idea of how much English can impact a shot, let's try the left English first and see where the cue ball goes. I'm only going to use one tip. Pretty much at this diamond down here, and you want to go into the line of the next shot. But take that same shot, and we'll use a little right English. Just one tip. And what I'm trying to demonstrate here is going to this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 diamond difference by just using one tip of English. That's why English is so difficult to master, okay? And one of the drills I'm going to give you in today's worksheet is a practice drill. It's only for more advanced players, but let me just show it to you real quick. This is something that I work on sometimes, because I get into a lot of games where I have to play really top-notch players, and I'm really required to control the cue ball. I'll set up one shot about like this, and what I'll try to do, and I'll need to use English a lot, is go from hit this diamond, start there, go in the side pocket, this diamond, that diamond, go all the way around the table. We call it drill around the clock. It's a great drill for more advanced players. Now just, Sherry, which diamond do you want me to hit? Just point anyone. They've got to be to here or around the table.
Okay. The right corner.
Right here?
Like that thing.
Right there?
That corner. Yeah.
All right. All right, anybody got an idea how I would hit the 5 ball in this position? Good. Do I need any English on this, number 1?
Just top, straight top.
Just straight top. Straight top, because what's going to happen here is I pocket the 11, the cue ball is going to be rolling forward like this. So when it does hit the rail, it'll beat the tangent line here. It'll go off to that side of the table. So let's just see how it works. Just high ball. And you notice I'm keeping the cue level. And that's a great way to learn how to play the cue ball. So just go around the table and put balls all along the rail and try to hit them. Awesome way to learn. Last time we learned about combinations. And I want to make sure you got this down because it's really important. All right, I want you to come look at this one and just tell me how I would make the 4 ball in the corner pocket. Which side is it on, Roy? Is it aimed at?
It's on this side here.
How far?
To right.
About right there.
Right there.
Okay, is that possible to make that? I see Melty, Chuck. All right, how do I make it?
Really hard.
Actually, he's kidding because he knows that's probably one way I could miss it, right? What happens when I hit it real hard? Does it throw as much as normal? No, it does not. All right, if I hit it nice and gently, about a half ball hit on the left side. Remember what we learned last time? It turns the 5 ball from left to right. In other words, it puts left English on it, which will throw the 4 ball to the right. And it's actually a real easy shot, but when you're playing 8 ball, a lot of times people don't break so well, right? I mean, there's clusters all over the table. Hey, take a minute, look around. Hey, that's dead, you know? And if it's not aimed right at the pocket, you could make it. So I'm just going to hit a half ball hit. Like that, real easy. But remember also what we learned, the further away you are from the pocket, let's say I'm way out here, and the frozen combination is way to the left of the pocket. Where's that one aimed, Mike?
You're right, it's...
About right there. So
Yeah.
that's about 5 or 6 inches, right?
Oh, easily.
All right. Does anybody think that's possible? It is, isn't it? Because I have a longer distance. But I still don't want to hit it too hard because that will eliminate a lot of the throw. So I'm just going to hit it on the left side, about a half ball hit. Dead in the pocket.
Is there a maximum number of balls that you can have in a row before you lose the force?
No.
No, you did that one last week with like 7 balls.
That's a good one. We'll do that one again.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good.
All right, here's a situation that Stephen's referring to.
Wow, yeah, that's kind of disaster. But I don't think you've heard it in a while. And I haven't either, so we're going to hear that coming up from 1970.
All right,
You
Steve.
have Stevie Ray Vaughan.
It doesn't really matter how many balls are in a row.
Imitates Mick Jagger's great imitation. He's
trying to get it down.
Oh.
Specifically for that.
What is it? What really matters when you have a bunch of balls in a line or in a row is what is the third ball? What side is the third ball? The third ball always dictates where that last ball is going to go if their last 2 are frozen. All right. So this particular shot, the 6 is aimed pretty well left of the pocket, isn't it? So the question is, can this be made? The force of the
All right, so
balls
let's
don't really
look at
matter.
it this way.
Yeah,
We just have those 3. Okay?
yeah.
So
Oh, man.
if you work backwards where you want, boy, physics was a long time ago. All right, so you want this rotation on the 6.
Well, yeah, I want that 6 ball to throw to the right.
Okay, so you're gonna have a right rotation. That means this has to be left. This has to be right. So you have to do a left rotation on the cue ball.
That won't really have any impact at all. Yeah. What's going to matter is the 12 being on the left side of the 1. So when it hits the 1, it turns it a little that way, which will throw it to this way. Now, if I had it on this side, like this, you know, the shot would be literally impossible because the 12 is hitting the right side, which will turn it with the right.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. That what you're saying is like combinations like this. You know, if I have the balls separated like this, the left or right English, or the angle that I'm cutting it will put spin on the 13. Like for example, if I'm shooting into the 13 right now, I cut it like that, so it turns the ball this way. That's a little bit of right English. So when it hits the 12, it'll throw the 12 microscopically to the left. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's different. We're talking about frozen. But any questions about those combinations? I really encourage you.
Question here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you repeat the previous combination?
Okay. The long one?
Like 3 balls.
3 balls. Okay.
I'm sorry, I ruined your sequence.
No, that's okay. Hey, we're here to have fun and learn. All right, I'm going to do another testing thing here. All right, I'm going to ask, is the 6 possible to make from this position where the cue ball is? What do you think?
Alright.
See, English is not going to impact this at all. If I could get the cue ball over here and hit a piece of the 1, I could come close to making it. But from over here, I can't. And the reason why I can't is because the 4 is hitting the left side of the 1, which will throw the 6 a little to the right. But if I just simply move the 4 over a little bit like this, now it's a dead combination, isn't it? Because the 4 is on the right side, so it'll turn the 1 that way and throw it to the left. I know it's almost a little bit counterintuitive, isn't it? Because sometimes you want to think it's the opposite. But good question though, Nyla. You just always remember that whether it's the cue ball or another object ball, this is like the cue ball would be if I was shooting a 2-ball frozen combination. When I put the 3rd ball up like this, that becomes like the cue ball in the previous situation. So this is definitely makeable, just barely. But you know what? I have to hit this kind of soft to make it, because I've got a long way to throw. Pretty long. But there are limits. There are limits. Okay. All right. Let's move on. If there's anything else on that. Okay. All right, we're going to do a few kick shots now, and then we'll do banks, okay? All right, we'll start off with a simple kick shot, and we'll kind of go from there. In fact, let's do it down here so it gets more on the camera. We'll put the 6 right here, and the 8 will be right in the way like this. And again, what we learned last week, I want to make sure you have this down too, is we can use what we call a midpoint system. Now, if I want to hit the 6, I only have to do really one step. I take my cue and lay it across to the other side. And you notice I put my cue where I want the cue ball to hit the 6.
Yeah.
All right? Then I simply slide over to the midpoint like this, which is right here, between the cue ball and the 6. Then I want to parallel shift, and lo and behold, all I have to do is hit that diamond and I'll make the 6. It should be no problem at all. Did everybody get that? We'll do another quick one, then we'll move on. All right, I move the cue ball further this way, but still, lay my cue across to the other side, straight across where I want to hit the 5. Slide over to the midpoint, parallel shift. This time I'm a little left of that 9, maybe about 1.5 inches or something like that.
And
But you know what?
You can't control a cue ball on that shot after it hits the object ball. Can you control the cue ball after you hit the object?
Oh yeah, but the way you control the cue ball is which side of it you hit. And that begins with your step here. If I go here, it's going to hit that side of the floor. If I go here, this side of the floor. Yeah.
How
Go ahead,
about
Chuck.
that system, how about that system you were showing?
All right,
earlier?
we're going to do a, some of you might like numbers, others of you don't like numbers, right? Do you like numbers, Milty?
I just,
Now, this is the system that I favor, but it's a little more complicated, okay? It requires more brain machinations, okay?
Yeah.
All right, it's using the diamonds. And to me, this is slightly more accurate than the midpoint system, all right? Slightly more accurate. But it's,
that much.
Yeah, but it's math, you don't know math.
I know.
oh, I know Milty knows math because he's a tech guy.
My fingers only go up to 10. After
Yeah.
that, I don't know.
You got 10 toes.
Oh, he's way smarter than he's saying. All right. All right. Whenever you have a kick shot, I don't care where the floor is. We'll do a harder one in a minute. But for the first one, let's just put the 4 in the pocket. Very simple. All you got to do is find one of the diamonds in between the cue ball and the 4. All right. Now, in order to make the 4, all you have to do is figure out how many segments to this side and how many segments to the cue ball. So if I move my cue to the right here, there's 10 segments between each diamond. So I slide over here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to the right side of the diamond. Now I wouldn't do all this thinking if I was actually shooting it. It would be just seeing it, okay? Mm-hmm. Now I go to the left side. Remember, it's way back to where the diamonds are on the rail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's put it right on 10. Just to make it simple. So my diamond in the middle, to the right is 10 segments. To the left is 10 segments. So literally all I have to do is hit the diamond to make the 4. So it's a really very, very simple shot. Okay? Now let's make it a little harder. Let's move the cue ball way out here. All right? Start with any diamond. I could actually use this diamond, but it doesn't matter. Any diamond in between. I go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I go to the left. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, it's right on 20. All right. 20 segments to the left, 10 to the right. Now here's where the math comes in. 20 minus 10 is 10. Half of 10 is 5. So I need to hit 5 segments to the left of the diamond. You like that? That for a physics expert, that's a little more feasible. Should I do it one more time?
Yeah, do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
because why'd you have it to 5?
That's
Let
just
me
the
go
formula.
through it again.
That's just the formula.
Yeah, it's a formula.
formula.
All right.
Yeah.
Now again, any diamond, I could use this diamond or that diamond, it does not matter. 10 to the right.
Okay.
Now to the left, I go 10, and it's back to the rail here. So it's actually 20 to the left, 10 to the right. So 20 minus 10 is 10, and half of 10 is 5. So my spot to hit is 5 segments to the left there. I hit a little hard. That's why it came up a little short. It's very sensitive to speed. But let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Can we do the same situation?
Same, okay.
But it is
Yeah,
here.
I was going to do
All right,
that.
now, it's a segment to this point here.
Exactly, exactly. All right, good question. Can I make it a little harder, Nyla? Down here a little bit. All right. This is going to be fun, this one. This is going to be hard. All right, I have stripes, but the 13 is not hanging in the pocket. Okay, now I went too far the other way. You know, in other words, you get the idea, right?
Right. No, it's awesome.
All right, one more, then you seem kind of interested in this. How many of you are mathematically inclined? All right.
So, find the middle.
There's
zone.
10, 11, 12, 13. So it's now 13 because I went past the diamond, about
Yes.
13 to make it.
Mhm.
10, 20, 22. 22 minus 13 is 9. So to make the 13, half of 9 is 4.5. So 4.5 is my aiming point. On that one, I can inquire in, but you know, since you're asking questions, it's kind of fun, especially those of you that are scientifically minded. There is a lot of physical laws and scientific principles that do apply to pool. But you know what's even more important than that? What's going on up here? That takes priority over all these systems and things like that. Because so often you're going to be dictated by weird tables and weird conditions.
Yeah.
You know, that make your systems fail at a certain point.
It's a game of geometry.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to banks, okay? How many of you are good bankers? First thing I'm going to say about banking is that it's not a science, it's an art. Now, why do I say banking is an art?
I
What do
think
you
there's
think?
probably, like you mentioned, so many variables.
Exactly.
You know,
That's
the table speed, the rail, density.
exactly. The cloth makes a big difference.
Sure.
The rails, the humidity,
Yeah.
the tip, the cue. It goes on and on and on.
It's so hard.
Now, even the rails sometimes are high or low, which will change the way they rebound. So when you go to a league or you go to an event, hit a few natural banks to try to figure out, hey, is it running short? Is it running long? That kind of thing. All right. Now, again, the neat thing about that midpoint system, we can use it for banking as well. So I'm banking the one over here, right? So I want to lay my cue down where the center of the pocket is, which should be right there, correct? The center of the outer jaw. Now all I have to do is leave the tip right there and swing it to the midpoint between the one ball and the pocket I want to bank it in. Now I simply parallel shift. And again, it's almost right on the diamond. Now that only works if you're hitting a rolling ball at a moderate speed. Because banks are extremely sensitive to speed. Like if I hit this hard, I'm going to hit way over here. If I hit it real easy, I'll end up to that side. But the system is banked on medium speed, which is good for one pocket, because one pocket you hit a lot of softer moves. But just go right at that diamond pretty much, and I should be okay.
Why does the speed determine?
Oh, that's a good question. The speed is because if I hit it soft, the one ball hits the rail rolling.
Okay.
And when it rolls into the rail, it'll widen more. But if you hit it hard, it's sliding along the clock and sinks into the rail. That makes it go shorter. All right. Let's try a few more. And again, you notice I'm coming up short on almost every shot. This table requires an adjustment because it runs a little short. Try one from here, a little different. All right, lay the cue across here, the center of the pocket, swing it to the midpoint right there. Parallel shift. This time I'm about 3 inches to the left of the diamond. This time I'm going to adjust a little bit, hit a little right of that. And really, sometimes you have to do that. Okay? Now, does the system make sense to you all? Any questions?
You hit it hard, man.
No, if you hit it hard, let me give you an example of that now. so you get some reality. Center midpoint between the tent and the pocket, parallel shift. So it's about 2 inches left of that diamond. This time I'm going to hit it firm, so the cue ball is actually skidding into the rail. Look at that.
Yeah,
It missed by that much.
yeah.
Now the same shot. So you're going to midpoint, parallel shift. This time I'm going to hit it nice and easy.
Wow, are you putting your stick to the middle of?
No, I'm putting it
rails?
where I want the cue ball to come. Like, let's say the 8 is out here. See how I did that? If the 8's out here and I want to hit there, yeah, like that. Yeah. You have a question, Steve? No. All right. Is the diagonal track to the pocket for the 13. So that means that I'll have to find a number on this side where I hit half that side, so it takes me to the pocket. Now I notice 10-5 is not on 13. Let's try 12-6. 12-6. How about 14-7? That's pretty good. 14-7, so if I hit 7 here, it should take me to the pocket. And it has to be half as much on the rail as it is over here where my butt of my cue crosses. Go a little further down. Let's say it's there. Okay. This would be 10-5, that's not correct. 14-7 is not correct. 16-8 is right on. And it's critical that the number over here is twice as much as the one you're hitting. And that bisects the angle. All right?
Could you do that again, please?
All right. 10-5 is not on, right? And that would take it to the pocket if a 13 was hitting the rail there. 12-6 is not on. 14-7 is not on. 16-8 is perfect. In other words, you keep moving until this number is twice as large as the number on the rail you're hitting over here. And remember, it's way back here. These are what we're going for.
Yeah.
16 here and 8 there. Bisects the angle.
Look at that 16.
No, 16 over here. Yeah, 8 over there. It has to be half as much.
Can you explain that same shot, not using the number system, using the diamond system?
What is?
Midpoint.
Yeah,
It is using-
now it'd be too hard though to do midpoint system just because
Yeah,
it's too far away from
So
the
you
pocket.
So.
Yeah, let's do the midpoint system then. All right. Now I'll show you how hard it is. Lay my cue across here. Now I want to swing the cue to the midpoint between the 13 and the pocket, just about right there. Now I parallel shift. Notice it's 8. Same.
Yeah.
It's 8, it's the same. But to me, that's a little bit harder than seeing the number. But you could use the midpoint. And again, you notice I'm laying my cue down where the center of the pocket is, not over here, where the center of the pocket is. And then I swing to the midpoint, about right there, to 8. And that's why I said from the beginning, banking is an art. It's not. It has a little bit of science, but to some point, some people just have a feel, an intuition for how to bank shots. They don't even have to think. They just start whacking them in. You've seen guys like that, right? All right. All right, let's do a quick rack of short rack 8 ball. How many of you played short rack 8 ball?
Yeah, you're short.
You never played it? No?
I've never seen it.
All right. All right.
I don't even know what it is.
We're going to use, oh wait, it's just like regular 8 ball, only using 4 stripes and 4 solids. And you rack it just like 9 ball. In other words, the 8 goes in the middle and you can put the other balls wherever you want. But let's go through a quick rack and jump in and ask whatever you want. We're going to talk about taking stripes and solids. We'll talk about the rules. anything you want to address. What is a legal shot? What's not a legal shot? A lot of you already know that, but it'll be good for the other students in the class. And again, when you're racking, you've got to rack them tight. Okay. You notice I'm pushing forward with my fingers like that. Oh, got it pretty good.
On this one, do you hit the head ball, or are you going to second ball break, or?
Well, you want to hit it to make a shot in 9-ball, make a ball in 9-ball. It always is better to play from the wings.
Yeah, right.
If I hit the 1 directly solid, and this is for next week, I would break from either wing, because that way there's a good chance you'll make the 2 in here or the 1 on the side. Just watch how those balls react. And I'm trying to hit the 1 directly solid in the face. Just watch what the 1 and the 2 do. Okay, the 2 went directly in, and the 1 came up a little short. But every table's going to be a little different, okay? But this is for you people that are playing in 9-ball tournaments. That's the break you want.
Okay.
That's the break.
And the 9 went in, so.
Well, this
I'd
is
be
8.
playing 9 and the 9 was in the middle.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, and this is called short rack 8-ball. And again, under BCA rules right now, it's an open table for those of you that never played that. Even though I made 2 balls, it wouldn't matter if they were both solids, I could still use stripes. All right, what do I choose? Do I take stripes or solids? What would you? Yeah.
From the side, did you hit the number 1, the front ball, or the second ball?
No, I hit directly the number 1 ball in the front.
One ball.
Now, if we were playing a real game of 8-ball with 15 balls, I could go for the second ball, which is a very popular break. Especially in APA rules where you win when you make the 8. But in BCA rules, it's not a win when you make the 8. It's just spots, okay?
Well, that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-ball break. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he hit the 1? Did he graze the 1, or did he just hit number 2 ball?
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
if you don't call, you got to hit the head ball. When I run my tournaments downtown, I wouldn't let them do a second ball break unless they can skim the 1 in the front. You've got to, that's just the rules. It was
Yeah, in 9-ball, you have to hit the
Oh,
1
and 9 ball?
first.
Oh.
I have never even considered the possibility of trying to make a 9-ball break by hitting the 1 thin. You want to make a ball, right?
Right.
If you hit the 1 thin, your cue ball's going to fly around the table and you're going to
Set it
scratch.
all fine.
Yeah, you don't want to lose control of the cue ball. That's like the number 1 rule of pool. Control the cue ball.
control weight.
Yeah.
How do you adjust, see where the 1 went? How would you adjust to put that 1 in the side? Would you shoot from?
Okay, that is
radio?
a good question. Speed. The speed I hit the 1, or if I cut it a little bit to one side, that'll affect it. Now that one, if I wanted the 1 to go closer to the side pocket, I would have taken a little speed off of it. Wouldn't have hit it so much. But every table's going to be different, Steve. You'll have to experiment wherever you go. All right, which do you like better, the solids or the stripes?
I'll go solids, taking the 1 first.
Okay. Okay. And Bill's right, because the 4 does go. doesn't it? Yeah. Now the 14 I would consider a little bit out of commission, okay? But the 4 does go. Now, one thing I wanted to point out though is on your very first shot, and this is so you understand the rules, let's say that this was the case. Say my 4 was here. Now, which would you take, solids or stripes?
I'd still pick.
Safety?
Yeah.
No, come on.
I would still shoot the solids.
No, I think.
Oh, wait a second. Remember, your first shot, it's still an open table.
I would still take the solids.
Why?
I take
I'd go up.
9, I take the 4, I take the combo stripes.
Absolutely. You shoot the combo here. Why?
Because you
It's
can.
open.
You can.
Because you can.
And this is the only time you can do it when the table is open. So, you know, if I shoot the 4-12 combination, I should have a nice easy shot on the 14 over here, then I can shoot the 13 and win the game. So remember, when the table is open, you can use a solid to make a stripe or a stripe to make a solid. And it's really important to remember that.
And shoot again.
Yeah.
Because you're selecting.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're both neutral at that point.
Yeah.
Can use other balls to make a pocket, but can we use 8-ball?
No, 8-ball is never neutral.
Okay.
It's a foul, your opponent gets ball in hand.
The only way you can use
Yeah.
an 8-ball is if it's in between
Yeah.
two balls.
Yeah,
When it comes to, if it's a 13, 8, 12, you can use it that way because you're using the 13.
let's say it was this position you're in. Now, if I could actually shoot, I could shoot the 4, it's an open table, I could shoot the, hit the 4 first and call the 12, but I have to call it in BCA 8-ball. So this would be a legal shot even though I'm using the 8, okay? But the 8 is never neutral. If you hit this first, it's going to be a foul unless you're on the 8.
Okay, what if you
Right.
have,
Yeah.
what if you have like, you carry the 13-ball left, off the 8-ball?
Yeah,
Does
we
that
could-
work too?
Yeah, that would be okay as well.
Okay.
Absolutely. In fact, that's a shot we really haven't talked a lot about, but we all know what the tangent line is. If you find the tangent line from the 8 to the center of this pocket, which is a 90-degree angle like that, you know about exactly where the 13 should hit the 8 to make it. In fact, Milton set it up real good. It should go straight in. That's called a Carrum Shot, and that's a shot that comes up like a combination that everybody needs to kind of look around and find.
Could you do that again?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was looking for,
All right.
like what the hell I was gonna do.
All right.
You had to have your eyes open, it was,
All right.
you'd be asleep.
Okay.
All right, here's one.
Stand right there.
All right, I'm looking at the 4. I could cut it, but it's a very difficult cut. The Carrum is a lot easier here than the cut because I can, like I say, you know, I'm looking at what spot I need to have the 4 hit the 8, so it's a right angle on the tangent line right to the center of the pocket. Now the tangent line would be the center of the ghost ball at a perfect 90-degree angle going like that. So pretty much all I have to do is hit the 4 almost straight on, and it should go directly into the pocket.
Can you hit those soft? Can you hit those
Yeah,
soft?
you can, but let me point out what can happen if you hit it too soft.
Yeah, you can slow roll it.
If you slow roll it, the 2 might hit the perfect spot on the 8 right there. But as it gets down closer to the pocket, it'll start to roll forward like that. So you want to hit most Carrum shots firm. Okay?
I've never seen that shot.
Never.
I've never seen anyone play me and do that shot.
All right. Well, here's another
You're
example.
going to Division 1.
Yeah. Let's say I have solids right here. Here's another example, like using a side pocket. Let's say I don't have a shot on the 2 anywhere, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I can still win the game. If I shoot the 2 off the 14 and it goes in the side, I can actually get the cue ball up forward and have a nice shot on the 8 to win the game. But all I have to do again is center of the pocket to the center of the ghost ball at a perfect 90-degree angle. So this is the part of the 14 I have to hit to make it in the side. And I'm just going to hit a little bit of rolling ball. And I could have hit it a little hard, but now I have a bank on the 8. There's a good chance to,
Work on your back.
yeah, work on the banks. All right, now in this shot, all I got to do is take my cue across like this to the center of the pocket, swing it to the midpoint between the 8 and the pocket, parallel shift. It's about an inch to the left of the diamond. So if I hit it, I mean, I'm going to adjust a little bit. I'm going a little to the right of that. And that's, and I know in a real game when I play, I don't do any of that stuff with my cue. I'm just trying to demonstrate it to you so you know how the machinations work to figure out. A lot of times you can just see that, you know. All right, more on 8-ball. Let's get some stripes and solids out there. And the 8-ball. Now, one thing I was going to point out, let's say you have a shot like this, okay? Let's say you have solids. You already made the 1. And you're shooting the 7-ball, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, this is what happens. I'm shooting the 7 in the corner, and I do that. In other words, I hit the 13 first. Mm-hmm. So that would be ball in hand for my opponent, because once you establish your group, you have to make a legal shot on your balls. Now, what is a legal shot? Can anybody define that for me?
After contact, it has to hit a rail.
Exactly. And that can be any ball hit the rail. But after contact, some ball has to hit the rail.
Cue ball included.
Yeah. So this would be a legal shot if I did this, because my 13 hit the rail. This would be a legal shot if my cue ball hits the rail like that after contact. This would not be a legal shot if I did this. Because I did not hit a rail after contact. But next week, when we have our little tournament, I'll be coming around. Milty and Chuck can help out, but I want you to ask for coaches. You know, that's the way you learn. Yeah.
I'll be in Texas next week.
Okay. All right.
El Paso.
Go ahead,
I
Nyla.
have a question. Why it is not legal?
Tournament. 6.
Oh, Nyla just asked why it's not a legal shot. Because I didn't hit a rail after contact.
Hit the rail.
The cue ball hit the rail here and then came back, but nothing hit a rail after contact. Now, if I did this, this would be a legal shot. If I hit it a little firmer,
Sure.
I got even the cue ball and the 13 hit the rail.
But if there are a lot of spaces around, you make ball to pocket, but did not hit any rails, is it illegal?
Yes.
Oh, no, yeah, that's fine. That's considered a rail when it goes in the pocket, sure. Yeah. Okay. All right, another thing that happens in 8-ball a lot, you know, bad hits are one thing. That's why safeties are sometimes your best shot. Because getting ball in hand in this game is a really coup. You know, it's really a big deal. Because especially when you're playing good players, you know, you're not going to survive giving up ball in hand. Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. What I could do here. Oh, that's not right either. Let's get something a little more relevant here. All right, let's say your stripes are tied up, okay? And like something like that. Yeah, here's a good example. And you have stripes. Now, you might think to yourself, well, wow, there's no way that I can get out from here because the 14 and the 15 are kind of out of commission, aren't they? Mm-hmm. In fact, they pretty much don't go in any pocket unless I want to bank it, all right? Mm-hmm. So instead of playing the 13 and the 10, what I might do in this case is simply shoot the 13 in and call safety, okay? So I might do this. And even though it didn't go in, that's fine. But look at what Solids has here. what are solid's chances of hitting the ball? Very, very slim.
Very, very slim.
So there's a situation where you could make the ball and call safety. And hopefully get ball in hand. So just, you know, like a stop shot on the 13, like that. And if you could freeze him on this ball, that's even better. Because now his chance, he's going to have to do an effort and raise Z shot at 5. All right?
Can you talk, speaking of freezing, can you talk sometime about how to shoot a frozen shot?
A what?
How to shoot the frozen ball shot?
Oh, when the cue ball is frozen? Oh, that's a whole, that's very...
Can I ask a
Yeah, go
question
ahead.
about this situation?
But that, I mean, sometime.
Yeah, we will.
The
Yeah.
previous situation when you hit your ball,
Yeah.
but I mean cue ball, no, it was this way.
Oh, that way, okay.
But 13 did not go in. So what is this?
It's still a safety. Because I called safety. So even if I make it or don't make it,
It is not like illegal
oh no, that's legal.
because
It hit the rail. It hit the rail.
But you turn fast.
Yeah.
No, it did hit
But
the
yeah,
rail.
the turn,
It hit both rails.
Hey, Mike, get off the table.
Yeah.
it's so
So it was a
comfortable.
legal shot.
It stops here. For example,
About like
if the
this?
shot was too soft.
Oh, if it, I see what you're saying. If I hit it, if I hit it and the ball stopped short and nothing hit the rail, that would be foul ball in hand for my opponent. But it did hit the rail. Yeah. But Roy is asking about this shot. Oh boy. Can we wait on that? 'Cause, that's a long explanation of that. That's very advanced. Yeah, that's a good question though. Yeah.
I have another.
Yeah, go ahead.
If in the middle of game 8 went accidentally
Oh.
to the pocket.
Yeah. If you make the 8 anytime during a game accidentally, you lose the game.
It is already lost game.
Automatic loss of game. Now let me point out some other possibilities. Let's say that you do this. Let's say that I'm shooting the 8 in the side pocket. I say I call it in there, which I have to, and I do this. Okay, I win the game, right? But what happens if I do this? Let's say I call the 8 into the corner pocket and do this. I lose the game, right? But there's even another situation you've got to remember too. What happens if I do this? 8 in the corner. Do I lose the game?
Yep.
Depending on the league that you're playing.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're playing BCA rules.
Ball in hand.
My opponent, it's not loss of game. My opponent gets ball in hand on anywhere on the field. Yeah, yeah. See, that's a little different.
Yeah.
In APA, that would be loss of game.
A loss of game.
Yeah.
BCA, that would just be ball in hand.
But that's pretty much short rack 8 balls. The reason why I want to play it is that we'll have a lot more fun next week because there'll be more time to maybe play different opponents and things like that. But I want to make it a teaching thing, so raise your hand if you want some help on a shot or something comes up or you want to ask a question, that'll be fine. It's, Chuck